Hey, Houston, we have fresh from Washington College, Johnnie Johnson here, brand new with Washington College.
Correct.
Congratulations,
Thank you,
sir.
thank you. Yeah.
What are you going to be doing for Washington?
So I'll be the Vice President for Enrollment Management, which means I have admissions and financial aid reported to me.
So I know you have a long-standing history with enrollment, with NACAC, really.
Yeah.
What have you been able to gain as a NACAC member for years on end now?
I've probably been a NACAC member for almost 20 years. The connections you make with individuals, whether it's a vendor or another colleague from another institution, those are long-standing. And so when you come back to a conference, you're looking for the people that you met and you're trying to make new friends. But it's a family when you come back together like this.
You know, family is the word that we keep hearing from people. Someone yesterday was saying this is a family reunion.
It is.
Especially this year with fewer people wearing masks and less restrictions. People are like, I can hug you again.
Yes.
It's definitely, it feels like, you were saying it feels like a different experience this year.
It's a renewed experience, right? So the last one that felt like this was Louisville in 2019, and we haven't felt like this for those last 3 or 4 years. And when you come in on Tuesday and Wednesday, you start seeing people in the airport, and you see them on your flight, and you see them in the cab with you, you're like, oh yeah, I remember when it's connections again. Like a family reunion, like you said.
I love that. Yeah. So, Johnnie, tell me a little bit about, since you have been in this enrollment with the organization for so long, what kind of trends have you been seeing? How are you seeing things change within the last couple of years?
Well, I would tell you, for NACAC, there's a reimagining going on right now where we're trying to be more inclusive with our membership. And so not only really trying to re-engage public school counselors, but bring in those community college counselors, bring in independent counselors, and really expand the base. I can also say we're allowing more people to be involved in terms of the voting and decision making, which has really been important because we need voices at the table to make decisions for the organization moving forward. And the last point I'll just say is what we're doing is helping kids, helping students find their future. And that's at the ultimate core of this. That's what we try to do. We're helping students find their voice, find their pathway, find their success.
Are you seeing students asking different sorts of questions now because we have gone through so much change recently?
They're asking the questions now that I don't think I asked when I was 17 or 18 years old. And I think, COVID and being behind a screen for so long, they're really trying to make a difference. So as they're getting back out, these students have been protesting, they've been marching, they've been a part of this social climate and social change. So now they want careers that reflect that. And that's something I didn't do in the 90s. These students now are so much more keyed in on what's going on in their community and what's going on in their schools, and they want to be the difference maker. So they're challenging us as college reps and as school reps to meet them where they are. We're not leading them now, they're leading us, which has been awesome.
That's amazing. I love everything about that. So I have to imagine then, since you're seeing these fresh minds really developing, that you have an idea of what they are going to be leading the change towards.
Well, I would say the careers that are 5-10 years out don't exist right now. If you think about it, 20 years ago, there was no social media communicator, and now these students are living in this technology that we haven't had growing up. They're creating their own path. It's not just about, hey, go to college for 4 years and do this. They're going to have 8 to 10 careers in their lives, and they're used to change. So we've got to adjust ourselves. My parents worked at one company for 30 years. Kids don't do that. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. They want change all the time. So I'm excited about where they're making us think differently about how we educate them, how we involve them in the community, and how they involve in decision making.
I have to think that definitely poses a challenge because
very
we have
much
been doing things the same way for so long.
When I'm on a college campus, and now I'm at Washington College, I'm challenging the faculty to think about teaching differently, right? They've had to teach online for the last 18 to 24 months. Let's continue that. Don't lose that. That's a part of the education now. But now let's update our majors. Let's update our academic offerings, because it's not just history or philosophy or English or biology. They're new careers and new pathways that these kids are like, I want to combine some of that. I want to create a new space for me. How do I do that with what you're already offering, or can we create something new?
That was not a thing when I was in
Exactly.
school.
You had a list of majors.
Yeah.
You picked one, and you stood with it.
That was it. 4 years. All right,
Yep.
here's my degree. Now I'm going to get an internship. And
Yep.
it was just a very much paved path. And
Yep.
that is not the case anymore.
Not the case. It's not the case for recruiting anymore. I used to be able to kind of guide a family or guide students on a pathway in terms of what information I wanted them to know at a certain time. The website has to be permanent and updated all the time because kids are on their computers at 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock when I can't get on the phone. And so now they're trying to find the information when they want it, not when I'm telling them. So even the recruitment pathway has changed.
I mean, I have to figure that conferences like this and opening up those conversations with people will allow you to be like, oh, is this what you're doing? Maybe that's something you can then take back home and apply as well.
Collaborative efforts. One of the panelists this morning talked about, even though many of our institutions are competing for students, we can still work together. So when you have a college panel or a college talk, invite your competitor. Even though you want the student that they want, you still need to offer those options for students because they need to compare. They need to take some information back to their parents. We're recruiting their parents a lot harder now because mom and dad and grandma and auntie and cousin have an effect and have an impact on what those decisions are. We're asking different questions on the applications now because the kids are doing so much more than what we were doing. Everything has just changed.
It's good. I mean, kids, I feel like they got to be smarter than we were
They
at
are.
that age.
I promise you. I won't tell them that to their face, but they are.
I mean, I hate to tell you, but we are live streaming and this may exist later.
Sorry, kids.
Thank you so much. That was so great. I appreciate you stopping by and doing everything you are for all the kids out there.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.